How does volatility impact your option positions? How does volatility impact your options premium? Let's go next slide. So we've shown before that the BPR of a short strangle is directly related one-to-one with the price of the underlying. However, in the short term, a big change in IVR of the stock will cause greater BPR fluctuation, but not in the way you expect. So what happens to that relationship between the BPR and the credit received? So we did a study just checking on this, and we compared the average buying power of strangles and credit received when the IVR was less than 30 and when the IVR was greater than 30. And then we compared the buying power of strangles and credit received in market sell-offs. So over time, strangles sold in high IVR environments collect more than 36% of the credit relative to the capital uses compared to the same strangles sold in low IVR, which essentially just means, hey, you're taking in more money. So theoretically, you're taking more risk, but you're using less capital on theoretical sense. You're using less capital for dollars at risk. So by considering some of the sell-offs since 2017, and we had a bunch of them, we had the 2018 sell-off, the COVID sell-off, the bear market in 2022, and then the overall averages. If there's a huge move in IVR, but the percentage does not deviate from the long-term averages, this means that the expectation of a higher credit as a percent of buying power is very consistent over time. One of the reasons that people trade, so what this slide shows is that no matter what the sell-off is, if you sell premium in high volatility, you just, of the total amount of money you have to put up, the credit is a much bigger percent. Okay. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So it's just, it's how they entice you. Okay. At extremes. Let's go next slide. The marketplace entices you. So efficiency improves steadily as IVR increases, showing a strong correlation. And right now, the reason we're doing this is because IVR is so high. It's heightened across the board. A 30 IVR threshold makes a significant inflection point. Right now, we're probably in the mid 50s to 70s for almost everything. And since 2017, efficiency more than doubles from the lowest IVR range to the highest. So just to show you, like, we're not trying to push the envelope too far in. We're just saying that after you get a period of market like dysfunction and uncertainty and all this kind of stuff and the heightened volatility we have, you enter into these periods like we may be in right now. I don't know for sure, but it feels like we may be entering this period right now where it actually gets really good for a while. You know, I'm getting that feeling. What do you think?
Yep. Agreed.
Okay.
I agree with you.
Let's go next slide. And then this graph shows how the premium and the buying power and their efficiency ratio evolve over time under different volatility conditions. And in this one, we went all the way back to 2017. And you can kind of see, and we wrote all the, we basically explained everything in the right-hand column. But high IVR consistently yields higher premiums across the entire time period. And regardless of the market sell-off, the ratio stays extremely high. In the end, you don't want things to get out of control because that's where it's hardest to manage everything. And we all witnessed that. We all experienced that over the last couple of weeks, over the last 2 weeks. But you have to hang around because now is one of those periods where you can get back.
Yes, for sure.
And some, hopefully.
Yep.
Let's go next slide.
And some.
So the takeaways, the BPR of a strangle depends on both the price of the underlying and its IVR, but the IVR will have a greater impact on capital usage on a trade-by-trade basis. So over time, high IVR environments carry more than 36% more premium per dollar of capital used than low IVR environments. That's so weird because you get more bang for your buck and you make more money. And then since 2017, the efficiency ratio increases significantly when IVR increases. It doubles, basically. Mm-hmm. This is another reason why we allocate more capital when it's more advantageous. But as you saw, what happened the last 2 weeks is it's a lot easier said than done. Because when you're scrambling and struggling, the last thing you want to do is add more capital. So it sounds better and it sounds easier.
Always sounds better on paper. Always sounds better the day after. 100%.
Well, it always sounds easier and sounds better than it actually is.
That's why you just keep your deltas tight and you get rewarded.